I wanted to take a moment and explain the owner portal and specifically how it relates to the statements that get emailed to you at the beginning of each month. I started by using one of our owners as an example. You can see when you first log into the portal, it's taking you to my dashboard. When you're on my dashboard, you can see that the time period most likely defaults to the current month. So this says July 1st to August 1st. Although that is helpful in seeing what is happening in the current month, it does not help you understand how that relates back to the statement. So if you go to your right-hand corner here, you see this little filter. If you click on that, you can change it to a custom date range. I choose custom instead of last month because last month ends up setting it to June 1st to July 1st, and I don't want to look at a June 1st to July 1st. I want to look at June 1st to June 30th. So I go in here and I select custom date range, June 1st to June 30th, and hit apply. This is going to provide on a very surface level the income that was collected, less expenses, less the ending balance. The next thing I recommend doing is going down to that second tab on the left-hand side labeled My Ledger. We're going to refer back to this throughout the statement, but specifically what the ledger is going to show you is any details that you need on repair invoices. It's truly just a ledger of everything that has come in and out during that time period. So you can see the rent collected, less management fees, but what you'll also see here is an invoice, and it gives the detail of the invoice as well, and you won't see that detail in the statement. So you'll want to refer back to this with any questions that you have. All of your statements are loaded to documents. You get emailed that directly, so you can always click on the link directly from your email. But if you aren't able to do that, or if you've misplaced the email or whatever else has happened, you can come here to documents. You can click on the previous month, which is June 1st to June 30th. Keep in mind that the statements, we pay all owners 30 days in arrears. So you received this statement at the beginning of this particular one, probably sometime around July 3rd, 4th, 5th, and it was for June 1st to June 30th. When you first look at the statement, you can see that there's going to be a previous balance on there. That is because, again, we pay owners 30 days in arrears. So for this particular owner, in May, they received $1,163.23. But in June, as on this statement, we paid out in a draw right here. We paid out that $1,163.23. So those two numbers essentially will match up. The previous balance and the owner draw should cancel each other out. So this owner has several properties. They are all done individually, but the income that was totaled was $4,412.95. The next line is expenses. That's most likely going to be some sort of repairs, but we'll see the detail of that as we go through the rest of the statement. The total management fees that we collected were $183.53, which brings us to a total of $5,244.30. That number is calculating the previous balance. So keep in mind that that was deducted later on. So the income received for this month was really the $44,1295. So if we take that, we deduct out the draw, which again cancels each other out, it leaves a balance of $4,081.07. On this particular statement, you can see that there's an unpaid bill of $299. When I paid out the owner at the end of June, or at the beginning of July for the end of June, I only paid them $3782.07. So I did not send them the money for that unpaid bill, although I had not yet paid that bill. I was withholding it because we're most likely just waiting on pictures from the vendor or something else. But we knew it was a pending invoice. We knew that the owner was going to have to pay it, and we didn't want to send those funds and then have to request them later for whatever reason. So I did deduct that from the draw, although this bill has not yet been paid. So as you go through the rest of the statement, we can start with the first property, which is Green Circle. This is very self-explanatory. The top will always be the income, so the rent received, in this case $913, less the management fee of $36.52, which totaled $876.48. The next property is Central Avenue. You can see that they had $701 collected in rent. They had the management fee of $35.05, and they had a repair bill from A1 RPM for $148.35. Like I mentioned before, there's no detail on here, so there is nothing that explains what did A1 RPM do out at Central Avenue. So when that happens, this is when we go back to the ledger and we look for that $148.35 at Central. In this case, it's the first entry on here. And you can see that there was a clog in the bathroom tub that was repaired. And this will usually give all the detail directly from the vendor invoice. So $148.35 was deducted for Central Avenue, leaving a total balance to be paid to the owner for this property of $517.60. So we go to Briar Hill. Briar Hill clearly had a tenant that was most likely behind in their rent, but whatever the case may be, the rent is $800 a month. They made several payments all back to back. So the management fee isn't taken out lump sum, it's taken out per payment. So you can see that the $800 all have matching management fees, and that smaller payment they made had a smaller corresponding management fee. So the management fees are not taken out lump sum based on the entire rent. It's made on a per payment basis. In this case, like I mentioned before, this property also has an unpaid bill for Universal Home Solutions for $299. Once again, there's no detail here to tell you what that is. Because it's an unpaid bill and it was not paid in June, we can go back to my ledger, and it's not going to show up here on the ledger for June. So again, go up to that filter in the right-hand corner, and you can change that to the current month. And sure enough, here's that $299 bill right here. You'll be able to find it. And this one was for roof repairs and tune-up. So now we know what that $299 bill that wasn't paid until the beginning of July, at least you have some detail on what exactly that invoice was for. Let me go back and change this to the June. And we'll go back and review the statement some more. So that makes up the end of the statement. So that's everything. So we have all the income from each property, less expenses. So the net of $2686.99, $517.60, $876.48, and that will make up the entire ending balance of $4,081.07. And like I mentioned, we deducted the $299, although that wasn't actually paid until July. So we sent the owner $37.82.07, and you can go and see all those details there. Again, when you're trying to figure out how you got to $37.82.07, you take the income, less the expenses, less the management fee, and then less any unpaid bills. Again, that first line, that previous balance, and the draw line should always cancel each other out. So we're just taking income, less expenses, less unpaid bills, and that will always bring you to your owner draw that you receive in the current month. So if you have any other questions, you are always welcome to reach out to the office and we can try to explain it further, but that will always give you a really good snapshot of what's happening in your property. Thank you.